The beauty of this place is that you have transformed a forest into an aerotropolis.
Indeed, Ogun State today is one of the most attractive investment destinations in Nigeria.
Acknowledged that the state is blessed with abundant human and natural resources.
For years, Ogun State in southwest Nigeria was praised as one of the most business-friendly states in the country. The World Bank even listed it among the top 3 Nigerian states with the best ease of doing business. Between 2011 to 2019, under Governor Ibikunle Amosun's administration, the state claimed it attracted over 500 companies and secured 75% of Nigeria's industrial foreign direct investments. Ogun also began calling itself the industrial capital of Nigeria. One of the most notable investors was Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. During Amosens' time as governor, Dangote successfully opened the Ibese cement factory in Ogun State and publicly praised the administration for supporting investment. Yet, when it came to the single most largest industrial project in West Africa, the project failed in Ogun State, forcing Dangote to relocate the project to Lagos State. What happened to cause this failure, and why was a state that Dangote himself had previously praised not able to facilitate the refinery in Ogun? Let's unpack all the conflicts that occurred. So what went wrong? The beginning of conflict. Dangote had originally planned to site the refinery and a deep seaport at Olokola in Ogun Waterside, a coastal area in the eastern part of the state. This was ideal for the refinery's needs. Not only would he be able to easily move crude oil to the refinery for processing, he would also be able to export refined products and cements out of Nigeria easily, bypassing the bureaucratic bottleneck at the ports in Lagos. However, by 2013, things began to fall apart. Dangote later claimed that his experience with the Ogun government during Amosens' administration was far from smooth. He accused the government of frustrating his efforts and of demolishing parts of his cement plant at Itori in Ewekoro local government area twice. The first time, he said, construction had already begun. The second time, not only was the structure taken down, but even the surrounding fence was destroyed.
The factory we're visiting now, Itori, that factory was demolished twice. We started building, Onamosu demolished it. The second time, he demolished not only the factory, including the fencing.
These actions discouraged Dangote, who later abandoned the Itori site altogether. He claimed he only returned to Ogun State much later because of the more welcoming attitude of Amosens' successor, Dapo Abiodun, who became governor in 2019. Political friction and accusations. Dangote didn't stop at accusing Amosun of demolishing his facilities. He also said the Olokola Deep Seaport project was blocked by political friction and conflict with local authorities. According to him, these political issues led to the project being shelved. Dangote also accused the governor of seeking pecuniary gain. The exact meaning of this is unclear, but some insiders suggested that Amosun may have tried to extract financial benefits from the project. Though this has never been proven, others believe there was a personality clash or that Dangote's desire for favorable terms was seen by the state government as overreaching. Amosun's critics accused him of crass politicking that drove Dangote away.
Out of the 55 road infrastructural projects initiated by this government in 2011 has failed by the principles of separations of powers.
Some also said he opposed the refinery project simply because the committee working on it was chaired by Dapo Abiodun, who was his political rival at the time. Amosens' side of the story. Amosen, through his media office, denied all allegations and labeled Dangote's claims as deliberate mischief. He said the Olokola Free Trade Zone was not under Ogun State's sole control, meaning the zone did not only belong to Ogun State, suggesting that other states and stakeholders were involved. Therefore, he claimed the state alone couldn't have blocked the refinery. He also challenged Dangote to provide proof that he had the proper government approvals for the buildings he said were demolished, suggesting that Dangote didn't acquire the proper permits to commence construction within the allocated site, and stating that Dangote might have tried to use his influence to bypass proper channels. Amosen insisted that no investor should operate above the law and that Dangote's team never presented valid permits for the structures that were taken down.
Dangote is a very busy man. Maybe the information he was given by his staffers, was not actually accurate. It's possible.
He stressed that there could not be two governments in a state, implying that Dangote tried to operate with special treatment. Amosen later went on record to suggest that Dangote's decision to move the refinery to Lagos was purely a business decision made by Dangote himself and not a result of obstruction from the Ogun state government. Land dispute in Ogun East. One of the more technical reasons cited for the failure of the project in Ogun was a dispute over land in Ogun waterside. Amosen insisted on reserving 500 hectares of land in the area for the benefit of the local people. This may have clashed with Dangote's development plans, which required large amounts of land for both the refinery and the deep seaport. Land disputes are common in Nigeria and often involve issues around ownership, compensation, and benefit sharing with host communities. If Dangote was unable to acquire the land he needed, or if local tensions made progress difficult, that could have been a strong reason to pull out. Amosen seemed to suggest that protecting the interests of the host community was a priority and implied that Dangote may not have fully agreed with this approach. The deep seaport issue. The deep seaport at Olokola wasn't a separate project, it was part of Dangote's broader industrial vision for Ogun State. Building the refinery without the seaport would have been less efficient. When the refinery was eventually moved to Lekki in Lagos, it was built alongside a new deep seaport. Dangote confirmed that the Olokola port project was shelved due to political friction with Ogun State's authorities, showing that the problem went beyond just one factory or land dispute. The entire investment strategy was affected. Return under a new government. After Amosen left office in 2019 and was replaced by Dapo Abiodun, Dangote returned to Ogun State and resumed talks about the Itori cement site and the deep seaport at Olokola. He credited Abiodun's investor-friendly government with making him feel comfortable enough to come back.
It was because of His Excellency that we kept back.
This shift in tone from Dangote shows the extent of the breakdown in his relationship with Amosen's administration. The fact that he was willing to return under a different governor also suggests that the problem was not with Ogun State itself, but with the previous leadership. The bigger picture. Amosen's government had a strong reputation for attracting businesses and investments, with over 500 companies reportedly setting up during his 2 terms and the state ranked highly by the World Bank. It's clear that many investors had positive experiences. However, the failure to keep Nigeria's biggest private investment, the Dangote Refinery, raises questions. Why was the state unable to handle a project of that scale despite having the credentials? Was it just a matter of politics and personality clashes, or were there deeper problems in governance and transparency? Amosen's defenders argue that he simply enforced the law and protected community interests.
People, once they know that you are real, you are genuine, they support us.
I'm just being frank with you that the man did so much concerning the industrialization of Ogun State.
Dangote supporters say the state lost out on a major opportunity due to unnecessary interference and demands.
We're done by the Dangote group.
Right. People forget that.
Yeah, people forget that.
Yeah.
Nigeria has short memory.
Yeah.
While the people of Ogun State felt let down when the refinery was inaugurated in Lagos and began operations there. To them, what could have boosted local Ogun State income, provided jobs and enhanced infrastructural development was now an empty site. The Dangote Refinery project was a missed opportunity for Ogun State. Although the state had a strong business reputation, it missed out on a massive opportunity that any African country would be willing to accommodate. An opportunity that the current government is trying to salvage. The truth behind the conflict likely lies somewhere in between Dangote's assertions and Amosen's rebuttal. What is clear is that the new administration was able to repair ties and bring back some of the projects Dangote had once abandoned. What opinions do you have on the matter? Please leave your comments below. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bye.